So this is Vivo V23e. So few days ago we covered V23 and V23 Pro. This is younger brother, Vivo V23e with newly launched Dimensity 810, 44 megapixel front autofocus camera and 44 watt charger. So the question that has to be asked is, should you consider Vivo V23e? And actually, the smartphone competition in 25,000 phones have really increased,
and going forward in 2022, this is gonna be the trend.
It's very interesting. We'll talk about it at the end, so stay tuned. And yes, this video is made in collaboration with Vivo, but you know it, I know it, the opinions are mine. Now, the box looks similar to the Vivo V23 series, sparkle and texture. And since this is an offline phone, here's something interesting. You get the phone, of course, silicon case, some paperwork, 44 watt charger and USB-A to Type-C cable. But you also get 3.5mm earphones and Type-C to 3.5mm dongle. Of course, rest in peace headphone jack. But these things are extra. You don't get it online. Seeing that, the Indian inside me is like, yaar ye dekh ke to lagta hai offline hi phones lene chahiye. Like even if you get one sticker extra in the box, you feel happy, like at least I do, right? Now, it's a slim phone. This time Vivo sent us midnight blue version, or I would call simple, minimal version. There is the sunshine gold version as well, which is reflective, but this one is matte glass, so no fingerprints. Personally, I'm a simple man. I like simple colors, and whenever I see TechWiser videos, I hit like. So the phone is 7.41mm slim. Vivo is known to make good, comfortable phones, and if you look at the weight, it's pretty lightweight at about 173 grams. There's no texture to it. It's all matte, but feels good in the hand. And you get a 1080p 60Hz AMOLED display. Now, I'm not sure about glass protection. The Vivo V23 had Scott Sensation protection, so that should be here as well, but I won't give you wrong information. We'll update the description once we get it. Now, it's an AMOLED display. You get deeper blacks. Interesting thing is, see, this is a white screen, and if I tilt it, there's no color shift or rainbowing effect. So the AMOLED panel here is really good. Now people usually think all AMOLED panels are same, but there is difference between same price AMOLED panels as well. And since this is an AMOLED panel, you get an in-display fingerprint, which is fast enough for the price segment. Now you get wideband L1 support on Netflix, so you can watch 1080p videos. I also checked Prime Video runs at 1080p. However, I did find the support for HDR videos on YouTube. And as you can see, the AMOLED panel is also bright enough. Now you get Dimensity 810 with 8GB LPDDR4X RAM, 128GB UFS 2.2 storage. Now the base variant comes with 128GB, so you get a hybrid SIM card slot. Now Dimensity 810 is a new 6nm chip. It's an upgrade version of Dimensity 800. So in CPU throttling, it performed really well. As you can see, it throttled to 85% of its max performance, which is really good. Let's play some BGMI on it. So you get Ultra or 40 FPS on smooth graphics, and max you can go HD at high frame rate. So this chip is powerful for 60 FPS. I can see. So for 40 FPS, the gameplay is quite smooth. Now MediaTek mid-range chips perform very cool and stable, so that is true with Vivo V23e as well. And camera is one of the key highlights here. So you get a 50 megapixel main sensor, and now Manu sir, please pose. So we took this photo, and in default mode, it tries to brighten up the face, make you look bright. And if you tap on it and reduce the exposure, like this photo is really good, the skin tone is on point. So the sensor is good. And we also took some photo outdoors. So see, when you get good light, it takes really good photos, and even the skin tone is accurate. Like in Manu's case or in my case, the focusing is fast, and this flower photo I took against wind, and see, the focus is on point. But when it's against hard sunlight, the HDR processing can be a bit better. Now you also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Outdoor lights, the photo is good. Indoor light, it's a bit soft and you have some noise. And of course, you have a 2 megapixel macro camera. Here are some photos. And now you get a 44 megapixel autofocus selfie camera. Now a lot of people ask what autofocus is and why Vivo goes with this notch. Well, as per Vivo, in order to put a 44 megapixel sensor with autofocus, it takes a lot of space that can't be done in a punch hole. And see here, now if I keep the phone towards the wall, it focuses on the wall. And now when I come in the frame, it focuses on me. And this bigger sensor and autofocus leads to a very natural blur, like see in this photo. So that's the reason Vivo has a notch, and I feel if the company has a good thought behind the notch and you have good hardware, they should do it. Anyways, after a point you stop noticing the notch.
And in terms of videos, you get 1080p 60 fps max, and this is how the audio and video quality should be through the rear main 50 megapixel camera. And you also get 1080p 60 fps through the front camera, and this is how the video quality is. And let me show you an interesting thing. It also has steady face. So if normally I'm shaking the phone, you can see the entire background and everything is shaking. And now this is steady face, so my face should be steady, but the entire footage should be jumping around.
And Vivo is one of the few phones to come with Android 12 right out of the box. It's good if you get Android 12 right out of the box because you will get extra Android updates later, although Vivo hasn't promised the number of updates you will get with V series. Now you get all the new Android 12 features. There's also always on display. Now you do get a bit of bloatware which can be uninstalled, and there's hot apps and hot games as well. So you can go here, settings, turn off. You can share this with your friends and family. And you get Google Call Recorder, hence
this call is now being recorded.
There is announcement when you record calls. And you get a single speaker. Here's the audio quality.
You just walk right out the door.
So it's deep enough for a single speaker, but it's a single speaker, it's decent. Now since the phone is slimmer, you get a 4050 mAh battery with 44 watt fast charging. You get all the important sensors, gyro, compass, proximity sensor. And yes, you do get Wi-Fi 5 because Dimensity 810 only supports Wi-Fi 5. And you also get 4G plus carrier aggregation. I checked it with my Jio SIM and the signal was stable. Now finally, let's come to the pricing. I'm not sure about the pricing while making this video, so it all depends on the pricing of the phone. I've tried to tell you as much as I can with the time I had with the device. And yes, the rising prices of smartphones.
The upcoming phones are gonna be priced a bit higher compared to 2021. So that is there.
So the average purchasing price of a phone has now increased to 16,300. So now with bank offers and discounts, brands are pushing the price to 25,000. So there is a lot of competition from smartphones at 25,000. So we'll try to do a dedicated video on best smartphones under 25,000. And here we did a really good live discussion on SNL.
Once the prices go up, they never come down.
About smartphone prices and why it's going up. You can watch that. And here's a video on why OnePlus is winning. So on that note, this is Prateek. Pew pew pew.